this tutorial, we are going to take a look at how to use the Google Drawing program. So to create a drawing in your Google account, you're going to click on Create, and you are going to go to Drawing, and that is going to open up our Google Drawing program. First thing you will want to do is you will want to go ahead and give this a name by clicking on where it says Untitled Drawing. So this is going to be our drawing sample. And then we'll say OK. Once you have done that, you have the ability to star this, or you have the ability to move this to a folder. So let's start out with the drawing tools that are available on the toolbar here. So I'm actually going to kind of work my way across from right to left. So the first one is image. So if I want to insert an image, I can upload one I have on my computer. If I am using Google Chrome, I can drag that item to this box, or I can go ahead and get it from my drive, or I could go ahead and do a search. So in this case, I'm just going to search for a dog in the Google basically Google Images library. It's going to bring that up. If I decide I don't like those pictures, I could actually go search in the Life gallery, or I could go ahead and search in the Stock gallery. Either one is fine. So you just go find the image that you want. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and select this guy right here. I click on him, I say select, and now that image will now be on my screen. So I can adjust that image because right now this is looking a little big. So I can simply drag it using my little anchors right here. Can bring it in, bring it out. And so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of put this up in the corner. And now that I've inserted an image, when I click on that image, you can see I get a couple other items that show up. I can make this a link, or I can actually insert a comment to this specific image. And when I do that, it's going to be tied to it. So I'll go ahead and leave a comment here. And so if we were working collaboratively, someone could actually see what that comment was. And so then they can choose to reply to it, they can edit that comment, or if this issue's been resolved, it'll now just kind of go away. So now that we've done that, let's go to our next item, which is our text box. So we'll go ahead and put some text there, and you can see once I have done that, all of my text tools that have showed up. And so I'm going to say, let's play ball. There we go. Now I can move this around if I want to. Now I can take this just like that. I can, as long as I have my selector tool selected, when I click on there, it gives me the handles that I can to move this exactly where I want it to go. So we have that there. Now we'll go to our next item, which is shapes. So this is, like you would use in any of the other Google Apps programs. We can go ahead and put a shape right here. So we'll go ahead and put that there. Once that pops up, again, you see we have some other choices. So I'm going to go ahead and make that red on the inside, and I'll kind of make it a brown on the outside. So now I've kind of put my shape on there. And you can see I have a variety of different shapes, callouts, etc. that I can put on there. I next have my line tool. So I have all sorts of different lines that I can do. So I'm just going to go ahead and put an arrow on here. And once I have my line, you can see it's selected. I have some other choices of things I can do. So I can weight that heavier. I can change the color of that. So we'll go ahead and make it yellow. Can change how that line is going to look. So it can be more of a dashed line. And now I can go back to my selector tool, and now my line is there ready to go. So the selector tool is used to move things around or to select items on your page. You can see now that I have my 4 arrows, I can actually slide this thing exactly where I want. So I want to point out the tennis ball. There we go. And you can see here we have a zoom to fit. This just basically allows us to zoom to kind of, fit the picture to our screen. We have our format painter here, which allows us to get all the formatting the same for all of our text objects. And I have my undo and I have my redo. So those are your main toolbar options, but let's go across the other tabs at the top. So if we go to File, all of our usual file items are here. The ones that are specific to our Google Apps for Education is Share. This allows us to collaborate on this document. I can set up sharing rights of who can see this, who can work on it. Other items that are of particular note, revision history, so we can actually see when this was revised and who was doing the revising. Great, so if you want to see if students worked on something at the last minute. Going back over to File, We have some language options, we have some downloading options, and some ways that we can email this and print this. So next we're going to go to Edit. And again, all of our usual editing tools are there. The one that is specific to Google is the Web Clipboard. So I have some items that I have put on the Web Clipboard already. So I'm going to go ahead, I want this picture, which I used in a Google Doc earlier. I want to put that on here. So as long as I put it on the Web Clipboard, I can then put it into other programs. So how do you put something on the Web Clipboard? So I'm going to go ahead and have the dog selected here. I'm going to go to Edit. I'm going to go to Web Clipboard, and I'm going to say Copy Shape to Web Clipboard. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now I can use that dog picture across all my different programs, and it will stay there until I clear that out. I'm going to go to View. You can see I can put in some different views, so if I want to go to 100% or 200%, things of that nature. If we go to Insert, you can see most of those items that we insert were already on that toolbar. But if we do want to go ahead and insert something like word art that was not there, we could go ahead and do that. Formatting, if I have some text selected, which I'll go ahead and do now so that we can see all those, you can see we have all of our usual formatting options, so we can adjust fonts and things of that nature. Arrange, this is where we can set things to order, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and bring this to the front so that now when I move this over the top, it's going to now appear over the top of the shape that is there. So if I wanted this arrow to actually go behind, I would want to change the order here, and I would go ahead and send it to the back, and now you're going to see that it disappears. So you do have those options. You could also right click and get many of those same options as well. If we go to Tools, you can see we have the tools that go across all the Google programs. We can research, so if we need to do a quick Google search on something, we have that there. Or we can go to Define, and we can actually define a word. And if you do need further assistance, sometimes the Google Help forums can be in the communities can be very helpful to find maybe that particular question or issue that you are having. And so if we work our way across to the right, we do have the ability, if we're working on this simultaneously with somebody else and they are signed in, there is the ability to chat back and forth, so we can actually work on a document and have that conversation going at the same time. We can leave general comments. You can also see the comments that appeared before, and you can see it has a check mark, meaning that it's something that we've resolved and it's all good. But if I just want to say something just general, and not about a specific feature on this drawing, I can just go ahead and go to comments and just leave that up here. So this is just, it's not tied to any item that's on here. It's just going to be more of a general comment. And then last, I can go to Share, and I can again decide who's going to work on this with me, who's going to have rights to actually view or edit this drawing. So that is Google Drawing, and I hope you find a way to use this, whether it be for mind mapping, to create an infographic, or anything else where you need to create a visual for your classroom.